buddy. Just touched down in Croatia, and we are going to head to do lunch with Rimac, CEO of Bugatti and Rimac. There's our little baby jet.
Little baby girl.
You see, this is literally me defined, right? There was no possible way that we could have flown commercially like the way the times were set up, so I get a jet, right? For the first time ever, the THC crew. And then we go with the little baby one to make sure we're being economical as possible. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I gotta see what they are.
Mate hooking us up.
Yeah.
So cool.
I have no idea what this is. Drink racks. Keep your spirits as they should be, undiluted. You freeze this and then you put it in your drink.
Wow.
Very cool.
You want to show the camera?
Dude, you got drink racks. The only thing better than that is crack rack. All right.
Mate's the man.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
Good. Yeah,
Good seeing you.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Hi. Good.
Good?
Good. Very good, man.
Hey.
All right.
So we made it.
Exciting.
Welcome to Zagreb.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having us. How do you balance, like, how much time do you spend doing Bugatti stuff and how much time do you spend doing Rimac stuff?
It has been like Nevera mostly with bringing it into production, so now it's slowly ramping down and ramping up with the development of future Bugattis.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I would say mostly now development of the next Bugatti, not the Mistral.
Makes sense. That one's already, you've done a lot of legwork has been done on that one already.
Actually, it was really fast. So we used like completely digital design, so no clay models. So from digital to like a mock-up that you make like a model on a CNC machine. That's really fast. And that was like 9 months. We decided to make a roadster Bugatti like 10 months ago. Right after I took over the company, it was like the first decision. Yeah, but it was relatively easy because it's the same powertrain, so it's W16. That was the whole point, like to celebrate W16. But the next Bugatti we actually started to develop before we took over the company, while the process was running, because we are developing everything from scratch. Completely new engine, completely new electric powertrain, chassis, monocoque, everything.
And you can't reveal anything about that, right?
Well, I can tell you, it's going to be a very interesting, exciting combustion engine, which is not going to be downsized. Let's call it like that.
How much are you involved in the design? Are you asking them to make changes? Like,
Well, to every last detail.
well, then there might be some. You might
Some
see
cues,
Some,
yeah.
You might see some design cues.
Actually, I must say, so the way it works usually is like designers make a proposal and then you choose 1, 2, 3, you know. And with the exterior, it's quite simpler. Like you see something, it's beautiful or not.
Yeah, sure.
Day to day, you know, the design team reports to me. But where I'm really involved in the smallest detail is like, let's say, for example, buttons in the interior. So I tell them before exactly which functions I want, which buttons, how to do it, what to do in an analog way, what to do in a digital screen, whatever.
I watched the video how you mentioned like the interior buttons actually have to match like the door handle. Like you have to have the same feel or the same cadence of. You mentioned how you hit a button on the door and like the interior should feel the same or have the same. It's fascinating how much thought actually has to go into elements and tying them together.
Yeah, that's why I think that cars are the most exciting product in the world. Planes are also fascinating, but like, you know, the guy who flies the plane doesn't buy it. So the manufacturer doesn't care how it feels, you know, it's a utilitarian object. It has to transport people. Just like cars are utilitarian for most of the cars, but the higher end cars, you want to identify yourself with it. It's a lifestyle, it's art, it's technology, so everything has to be thought of.
What I've seen from Bugatti is very old classic French, like interesting dialogue that I've had, and then I think you bring like a very like young, edgy, very tech savvy. Do you find that there's like a clashing of cultures, or have they just kind of like, if you just kind of come in and they've listened to you and been receptive?
So Volkswagen was the owner of Bugatti for the last 20 years, and they had, you know, certain autonomy, but very limited. Whenever they wanted to do something, they had to go to ask Wolfsburg, like, can we do this? And depending on the situation, Volkswagen, like the Dieselgate and so on, you know, it was like total budget cut, or you know, or if there was a crisis in 2008 and so on. So they had very big limitations. So I think the previous management, like Stefan Winkelmann was the CEO before, he did an amazing job, and the company was amazingly well structured, and we can see it now with Mistral. 99 cars being gone the minute you show them. But at the same time, they had lots of limitations to develop new stuff, to develop new cars. So W16, I think we can agree, it's peak engine, like it's the craziest engine that will ever be. And a lot of amazing cars are built on it, but it's also quite an old platform already. It's like 15 years from the Veyron to today, the same engine being redeveloped and redeveloped. With us, we have a lot bigger freedom now. And before, like, let's say the design team and the engineering team had to push the management to push Volkswagen to do something, and now it's the other way around. I'm pushing everybody.
That's awesome.
So I think they like that, to have this, reverse layout, and to have the freedom and short decision ways. And I think the big difference is the company was run by managers for many years who are
Very
employed.
corporate, right?
Yeah.
And you've kind of removed some layers.
And I'm also an owner of the company, which hasn't happened since decades, that an owner is actually also running the company. So yeah, you can do things much more radically.
Is it shocking to them though, like bringing Croatian and your culture into the organization?
Yeah, I think it was shocking, but also like we have radical transparency in the company. So like everybody sees everything.
They'll talk it out.
No. Like before it was very siloed. Yeah, like do your part. Don't ask about other stuff. And, the guys in Germany are doing their thing. The guys in France do their thing.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah, exactly. And now it's very like inclusive. Everybody has a voice. And, like we have everything on digital platform. You can see everything, and it was shocking to them. Like what? The cleaning lady can see this? Yeah, the cleaning lady can see this. Yes, I want everybody to see this.
Good.
So I think that has also been a change, and they are very thrilled about it. So, and there's now, for the first time, we are expanding most time. Also, we are building expansion factory in France. We are hiring more people. We are developing new cars, radically new cars, multiple new cars. So it will be exciting.
I had a Tesla Plaid, and I'm sure you've been asked this a bunch, and you're probably sick of the question there's a huge price delta between the Plaid and this, but the same thing happens with gas cars, right? Like when you get it, like my Nissan GTR,
The same thing.
the whole build was $300,000, but it's beating a $3 million Bugatti. How do you quantify the difference? Will I realize it once I drive it, or?
I think you will. It's it's exactly like with the GTR. When the GTR came out, it was like a $200,000 car, whatever, 150 maybe. It was faster than pretty much any hypercar. All the 2 million, 3 million at that point time hypercars was faster than that. The Nevada is faster than the Plaid, quite significantly.
Quite significantly, that's the difference. From what I had read, it seemed like it was pretty 0 to 60 in 1.89.
Yeah, but it's like you're there at the limit of the tires. Above that is where the difference is.
The Tesla's horrible. Like it's a straight line car. It's and then autopilot. It is not driven to go on a track. And are you saying that even with big heavy batteries, this thing is going to maneuver?
Yeah, it's especially with the 4 motors. We have 4 motors, one for each wheel. There's a system called torque vectoring, where it's distributing the torque 100 times per second to make it feel really agile. And then it's a hypercar. It's carbon fiber. It's low, wide. It's beautiful. You can do drifts in it that are crazy, and it's different to a family sedan. I mean, the Tesla is an amazing car. It has 5 seats, self-driving features, all that stuff that you get for $200,000, and it's amazing. Like that you can buy such a car that basically is faster than anything else except the Nevada on a quarter mile. I really like having the 2 brands. Rimac's going, crazy with features and technology, and maybe doing something that's not conventional. While with Bugatti, it's more about tradition and engines and sound and craftsmanship and details. So we can basically play in both fields.
No, it's awesome. And I love my Teslas. I still have 2. So I love electric cars. There's nothing.
I'm really curious to see what to think the difference between the Tesla and the Nevada. Steve, you'll be driving this car later.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, today.
Seeing it in person, I already see a huge difference between this and a Plaid, right?
Crazy.
This looks like an amazing vehicle.
It's different than a 5-seater.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's have a tour.
Let's do it. We're at the Rimac factory here with Mate, and he's going to take us a walk through and give us a little tour of their operations and everything. Right?
At one of the locations.
Yes. Oh, I got to fart right now. I want to fart so bad.
I won't fart in your building, okay?
Just go ahead, man. Freedom.
All right.
We are a free country in Croatia.
Did you hear that? I hope that it picked up the sound.
Just open space offices.
Oh, this is amazing.
Yeah, everybody can bring dogs.
That's really cool. It's quieter in the manufacturing area than it is in your office.
Yeah. But because here's no machines. This is just people.
That's like assembly?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
So we actually produce parts in other areas.
Yeah.
This is just assembly.
Understood.
So we'll go down there, but just...
You said that's the easy part, right?
Yeah, that's the easy part.
If that's what all the cars are going to be, that baby boy. Oh, they're building it here. I thought this was like a diagram.
No. You have the
Dude,
diagram
that is-
underneath, behind, so that tells the guys what to connect to what.
I just feel like most manufacturers are outsourcing
Yeah.
this crap, and you guys are building it in house.
We do lots of stuff in-house that others are outsourced. But this is how it
Incredible!
looks at the
Wow,
end, like-
that's how it looks after they wrap it.
Yeah, when it's wrapped. Yeah.
Wow.
So this is like
See that,
car
Tommy?
harness, but they also build here the harness, let's say for the inverter or for the battery,
Yeah.
also for the components. This is Boris, he is...
Hi, Boris. Steve.
Nice
Nice to meet you, sir.
So Boris is leading this department, and basically it was like, when the company was 20 people, we were like, oh, we need to build wiring harnesses, and like, who has ever built a wiring harness in his life? And he did, I think, the audio system.
All
in
the
his-
systems in the car, yes.
So like, and when we started to do this, it looked like, a bunch of guys, like, literally...
A big mess of wires on a
Yeah,
desk.
so we had no idea how to do wiring harnesses, but we learned, and now it's like, the way we do it now, it's like the same level like a big car company would do it.
Do you bring people in that have no prior experience and you're able to teach them quick, or do you bring people in with...
But at the beginning I couldn't afford to hire anybody.
Yeah.
So in Croatia there was zero experience,
Yeah.
so we couldn't hire anybody who has done anything similar, not
Okay.
just the wiring harnesses and
Yeah.
anything. And so we had to learn on our own.
Yeah.
Now, with the last few years, the situation is different, and we are bringing lots of people from abroad.
Talent that already... Oh, from
Yeah.
abroad.
Yeah, from all around the world.
Amazing.
And not for Croatia. There is no car companies in
Yeah, I
Croatia, so
understand.
we have to learn this stuff on our
Nice
own.
job, Boris.
It took all
Thank
about
you.
6-7 years.
8.
8
It will
years.
be 8 soon, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. OG. OG.
Bye.
Walls, everything is English.
Is that because you're bringing in so many people from different countries? You
knew we were coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. It smells so good. I was about to say that.
It smells amazing.
It does. Like the opposite of Tommy.
They're handmade.
That's Jats. He is leading this department.
Amazing.
Nice to see you.
I'm Steve. Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you.
And you would like what he did before this job.
What's that?
What?
What'd you do before here?
Leather sex toys.
SM collection.
Oh!
Things
Very nice.
for Game of Thrones and many things.
Further down now. I call it a unicock.
Some type of cock. A raw monocoque, so just the carbon fiber pieces.
Yes.
Actually, it's one carbon fiber piece, one giant carbon fiber
Giant
monocoque.
cock. Got you?
Yeah, it's the biggest carbon fiber piece in the industry, and the stiffest one.
Oh, wow. This is post. Oh, wow, I see.
So it has all of these attachment points.
You guys said you make the monocoque here in another building, right?
So we make a lot of carbon fiber parts, and in the campus we will make all the carbon fiber parts for future Bugatti and Rimac
Yes.
cars. That's the plan. But now, as we are limited with space, we
Yeah.
have a build-to-print company. So we have developed it,
That's cool.
engineered it, and it's being built. The monocoque itself is being built by another company.
Understood.
Because we don't have enough space. So this is all mounted here, and then the car goes to this station where
Very freaking amazing.
where you pre-mount all the carbon fiber pieces.
Yes.
So you have like placeholders for the lights and for other stuff. And what's happening here, it gets aligned so that all the pieces fit perfectly together. It gets 3D scanned multiple times, and then compared in the computer, see if the things align. And then the body gets sent to paint shop, and the monocoque is so, but just the roof, and the inside is usually matte carbon. And then they meet again only at the end of the production, at the last step of the assembly process.
Are you already thinking about the replacement for the Navera, or not even getting there yet? No, that's too stressful.
No. During the process, there's so much stuff that you would do differently or that
Yes.
you learn. Well, with the Navera, actually, I set the goals really high when we started.
Yeah.
And usually, you dumb it down along
Yeah.
the way because you run out of time, talent, money, whatever.
Yeah.
But with Navera, we nailed almost everything that I
Good.
wanted at the beginning. So we achieved that. But now, if we would do it again, I know how to
Yeah.
improve lots of stuff.
Sure.
But this is the steering wheel being assembled here. So all the electronics we make ourselves, the carbon fiber pieces, the buttons we make ourselves. And actually you have a bunch of computers here inside the steering wheel. And here you can see other stuff like...
And then this goes to get stitched after?
this is already stitched, that's why it's protected.
Oh, that's the protecting. That's not. I thought that was the loose lapped
No, no,
rim.
no.
Okay.
It's protecting.
Understood. Smart. Wear protection.
And this was done by Jats. These guys, you know, all the protected.
Does he do a lot of the stuff himself?
Yeah. So he's like, you know, not just the car parts, but actually when we need something in production, like protection or something, he does that kind of stuff as well.
Very cool.
Here we do the infotainment and the center console. So again, everything is machined from solid blocks. This is our own infotainment screen, infotainment system. Again, carbon fiber, very nice. Like, so this is like space to put your wallet and your phone. So there's,
cool.
you can remove the screen, and it's very. You can try yourself. It's very solid, so that
Very rigid.
When you accelerate.
Holy! Oh, it's not going to move all over the place. Yeah.
Exactly. So,
Oh, swipe pad.
yeah, if you don't want to touch your screen.
Fair
So
enough.
this is the cluster screen, the passenger screen. This is the electronics running it, so it's all our own ECUs. And then like
So
here
amazing.
the guys assemble also the, let's say, the beautiful parts, the key or the these buttons inside the car. So the knobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like the power distribution unit in the car for the low voltage systems.
Yeah.
So because we have autonomous driving functionality, you have to have redundancy. So like
Wait,
this.
so these do have autonomous driving?
Yeah, we have 14 cameras. Not on the road, we have a track feature which is called a driver coach.
Okay.
Which is like a system that coaches you how to be a better driver on the track.
Ah, I see. That's
Yeah.
still pretty neat.
So that kind of thing, or here like the main ECUs of the car,
Yep.
the control units, or baby ECUs.
Baby ECUs.
Or this is like telemetry. No, this is the keyless go system. But we also have a telemetry system that we make ourselves. So this is the infotainment with all the camera connections,
Oh, cool.
screens.
So neat.
And also here we make the Aston Martin Valkyrie infotainment. I'm not scared of competition ever. I always say, this is so hard. If somebody can do this better, be my guest.
Oh, look at the machining.
So that's machine in our CNC machines.
This is the
Very expensive box.
wall-mounted.
No, this is in the car.
Oh.
This is the AC to DC converter, or DC to AC converter.
Oh, and you don't even get to see this piece?
No,
It's all this beautiful machinery and you don't
Yes.
even get to see it. That's such a shame.
that's why the car costs that much.
There
It's
you
actually
go.
way too cheap. Then if something happens with that car in like 5 years,
Yeah.
and you know there's
You can look up the log and
look
see
up-
exactly what happened.
who did it, if everything was done right, if the
That is incredible. Is it like this at most of your stations? Where there's-
everything where it's safety
Now that
critical.
is amazing.
Everything where it's safety critical. Small car companies don't do this, but we do it because we are also a
That's incredible.
supplier to the big car companies.
Yeah.
Now, like really a key piece of the car.
Yeah.
So to get the power we have, we needed to develop our own powertrain system.
Yep.
So this is the inverter delivering 1 megawatt. So we had to do this from scratch, and this is actually the secret sauce behind the performance. So it drives 2 motors. So actually what a carburetor would be, or injection system in a traditional car, or a turbo system, that's what inverter is in the car. So it takes DC, so direct current from the battery, and converts it to AC, to the motors. So it does the switching. And here in the middle is the cooling system for that. And then on top and bottom you have the 2 inverters, one for one motor, one for the other. And then underneath the inverter comes the 2 motors. They're connected then directly. And this is the most powerful inverter. So 1 megawatt, so basically 1,300 horsepower coming
You need to
out.
get to 1.21 gigawatts.
But I need a nuclear reaction to generate the 1.21 gigawatts of electricity. 1.21 gigawatts!
Again, same thing, you
Oh
know,
my gosh.
all the electronics, you can see our little Rimac logos on it. And you know, the wiring harness being done upstairs, the aluminum parts,
all
and
coming together.
machining, then it's coming together here. So when you ask like, what do you make of the car yourself, you know, so like if you look at the car, you know, it gets the powertrain system, and the inverter is part of the powertrain system, and then we also make the parts of the inverter, but you know, some things of course you buy. And again, you know, every step being documented here.
What's been your biggest headache? What's the hardest part to be at right now?
This one.
Oh, the inverter?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the most difficult part to get to work properly, because it's under such high stress. There's so many, like you have over 1,000 amps flowing through this, and there's like so many electrical problems and software and so on, so and safety relevant. So there's lots of safety software on it.
Yeah.
And there's like, you know, you need to predict 1,000 cases what can go wrong,
Yeah.
and how this will react to keep the driver always safe. And then here's the production line. So these are like 2 cars that are almost completed.
Yeah.
I think this is the first one going to Canada.
Canada, okay.
Yeah, so you can see now a bunch of things that you have seen before. So the ECUs, for example, the charger,
Seen them all on there. I love it.
the inverter, the wiring harness, the cooling systems.
Yeah. You guys do your own suspension?
It's custom made, so this is KW, a damper, and this is like there's no part from another car.
Yeah.
So there's no part from any car in this car except the HVAC unit,
Okay.
the blower. That's from an Audi R8.
Oh.
It doesn't make sense to do that yourself. But everything else is custom made for this car. Most of the things, or many things, are done by us, some by suppliers. Like for example, the brakes are Brembo. We don't do the brakes.
Yeah.
The suspension is KW. Well, the
Yeah.
dampers is KW. For example, the supercomputer is NVIDIA.
Okay.
So it's an NVIDIA supercomputer for the self-driving. But all the other control systems are our own systems.
What's the bolt pattern on the wheels?
It's a central lock.
Oh, it's center lock. That makes it much easier.
Yeah.
The bolt pattern is one by one.
So you see also with the butterfly doors how big of a door opening we have. So it's really easy to get in and out. Much space there is between the wheel and the monocoque, so you can put your foot down without having to climb over.
Did you sit in the Aston Martin Valkyrie? Have you sat
Yeah,
in
yeah,
it?
yeah.
That's the hardest car to get in
That's
and
a
out
Formula 1 car.
of. I know. It's so hard.
It's very special.
Tommy loved it.
Carbon fiber, of course, machined and forged aluminum,
Yeah.
3D printed titanium.
What was the titanium part?
It's the cooling duct for the brakes.
There's a cooling duct for the brakes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's air intake. Part of the air goes to battery cooling. So here in the front we have the cooling for the battery, for inverter motor. So you have 2 motors in the front. It has also active aerodynamics in the front. So this is the front bumper, the front bonnet, and this is like a flap. Controls the airflow. And then here is the hinge for the bonnet, and it's also everything machined on CNC machines. So all beautiful parts. So carbon fiber and machined aluminum. That's my favorite, materials.
It's stressful, like sitting here, looking at how many pieces had to come together, and like you had to do all of this. I'm like, it's so stressful thinking of having to. Oh my
Well,
god.
it's very impressive how he just knows like everything about everything on this car. Like, that's so cool to see.
But like the sequence of it, that you get all the parts, the materials,
Yeah.
and then that everything in the company happens at the right time, with the warehouse and logistics and purchasing and all. So on, that's the hardest part. The right part is at the right place
Yeah,
at the right
I know.
time. That's the most difficult thing.
Speaking of the factory and doing everything right, this is going to be a super hard act to follow, visiting any factory after
It's
this.
true.
Because this is...
You're setting the bar high.
I feel like we're in a
right?
laboratory. Like, this is stunning.
Here we have alignment. We have a 3,000 horsepower dyno.
Nice. It's for the next version.
No, it's
Get it up to 3,000 horsepower.
Well, yeah, you always have to plan for the future. We are confident that we can get more performance out of it, and we are constantly doing that. And it's not like, for example, the battery has its own state of power and state of health prediction.
Yeah.
So there's a mathematical model which is running in the battery, and the battery says to the powertrain all the time, this is how much power I can give you. And there is lots of additional software modeling that we are doing to understand how far we can go to not damage the battery.
Yes.
So
You have to sustain. You have to build something that will sustain and make the car last.
Yes.
Have you ever just done one where you're just like, I want to see how much horsepower?
No,
We're gonna full send it just to see.
whatever
No.
we do is.
I mean, just for a test, just to prove to yourself you can get 2,500 horsepower.
No.
No, you've never. Okay, that'd be fun. I'd be like that guy, being like,
Steve would be that guy.
I might fry out the battery, I might break something, but let's just see how much just for one. Yeah. I
No,
got you.
because there's so much work to make the car run for customers properly with everything that we wanted, that we don't want to waste our efforts into other stuff. So whatever we do, it's for customers.
I understand.
When Steve gets one, do it on his car.
Exactly.